offers from friends. David Muthoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
There are more probing questions on the choice of travel by President William Ruto during his just concluded trip to the United States. The president's attempts to answer these questions have only resulted to more questions. His deflection of the questions have now given rise to a new debate. Who are his friends who sponsored his trip to the US? What are their interests in this trip and on the president? And how can individuals, the faceless individuals, take charge of a representative of 50 million Kenyans? Also, we ask, if true they sponsored the trip, did the president contemplate the consequences of Chapter 6 of the Constitution? Emmanuel To attempts to find his answers amid the numerous contradictions in the president's own statements.
Some friends told me, how much do you want to pay? I said, I'm not ready to pay more than 20 million. They said, bring 10 million, we will give you the plane.
The discourse began with the exclusive revelation that the trip to the United States and back will cost the taxpayer an upward of 200 million shillings. It was a trip touted historic with numerous returns to the nation. A private business jet configured to carry 34 individuals was the choice for this journey. Run by a private aviation company in the United Arab Emirates, many more in his delegation flew commercial. When the debate became hot and was picked by the international media outlets, the president was drawn out and he responded.
Let me disclose here that it costed the Republic of Kenya less than 10 million. When I was told the cheapest plane was 70 million, I told my office, go book Kenya Airways.
For the second time, he is publicly taking up the matter. It was another attempt by President William Ruto at explaining his extravagant trip. Within his answer, more questions, only this time deeply thought-provoking. Before this explanation, the president had attempted to answer this million-dollar question by comparing the cost of hiring the jet and the cost of flying the national carrier, arriving at a conclusion that the cost of getting the Kenya Airways services would have been steeper than his choice of a Boeing business jet, with the answer raising even more questions. He chose the National Prayer Breakfast, a ground purified not only by the title, but also tradition and practice, to yet again attempt an answer that will seal the ongoing discussion. However, the more answers he has attempted, the deeper the reactions and the more the questions came. Tonight, we ask, who are these friends who are willing to pay for the President of the Republic of Kenya to travel to the US for a state visit? What are their interests in the trip? What do they stand to benefit from sponsoring such a trip? During an interview in the US by VOA, he averred that other people would answer to the question when it was put to him. What happened to those sentiments? Could the state be captured by shadowy characters who can single-handedly take charge of the head of state and government? How can a president representing 50 million people be trusted in the hands of faceless individuals and not the taxpayers who ordinarily are expected to shoulder the weight of that office and him in return be accountable to them? And lastly, why didn't the president take this opportunity to mention by name the friends for accountability purposes and to settle the debate?
And the debate must end because I am that responsible.
Article 76 of the Constitution on Financial Probity of State Officers states that, quote, a gift or donation to a state officer on a public or official occasion is a gift or donation to a state officer on a public or official occasion is a gift or donation to the Republic and shall be delivered to the state unless exempted under an Act of Parliament. The Constitution, further expounded by Section 14 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, states that a state officer shall not seek or accept a personal loan or benefit in circumstances that compromise the integrity of the state officer. And when a state officer receives the gift, the law requires him or her to declare the gift or donation to the Commission and the Republic entity which the state officer represents.
That today, on behalf of the people of Kakamega and as the Senator for Kakamega, I want to present to you a symbolic gift that is going to motivate you achieve this legacy. I have 3 animals here representing 3 arms of the government. I want to present to you as your gift, as you go back, this symbolizes unity among the three arms of the government.
And under the Judiciary Code of Conduct, I'm not allowed to take a gift which may anything more than 20,000 shillings. Niliona mbusi hapa tatu zinaweza kuwa almost 30,000.
The twists and turns in this saga no doubt caught the attention of the opposition.
When you hear of state capture, it begins with people who say, Esther Passaris, County Representative Nairobi, you're going to give your free ticket to Dubai.
We want to tell Bwana Ruto, please, what you have done is very unpresidential. It is very unpresidential, and Kenyans deserve a better explanation.
A quotation requested and sent to KTN News from the Royal Jet Company, in which the president chartered the jet, puts the cost of hiring the state-of-the-art aircraft at a total cost of $748,600, which translates to about 98 million shillings one way for a 34-seater plane. The Kenya Airways plane charges 847,000 shillings for a return ticket to New York, years after KQ launched direct non-stop flights to JF Kennedy International Airport in the New York, USA in 2018. Did the president, a public officer with 30 years experience under his belt, knowingly violated the constitution in this trip?
And although the president has his own inalienable right to have friends, the level of involvement through sponsorships, donations, or otherwise is controlled by law to avoid conflict of interest that will then affect public service delivery. And as he prepares to come here for the Madaraka Day celebrations, questions continue to be asked as Kenyans wait for more answers on how the country ended up paying about 200 million shillings for the jet that has raised more questions than answers. Emmanuel Toh, KTN News, Masinde Muliro Stadium, Bungoma County.
Answers that lead to more questions. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Toh, for that. So now let's bring in Advocate Willis Otieno.